Hi, I'm Camille. I've always been the responsible one in my family, the one who plans, who thinks things through. So when I saw those two pink lines on the pregnancy test 3 days ago, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Wait until after my sister's baby shower to share the news. Are you sure you don't want to tell anyone yet? My husband Ryan asked as we lay in bed that morning, his hand resting gently on my still flat stomach. Absolutely sure. This is Emma's moment. She's been waiting 8 months for this shower. I'm not stealing her thunder. I pulled out my phone to check the time. Crap, we need to get moving. Mom will kill us if we're late. The drive to my parents' house was filled with Ryan's nervous energy. Your grandmother's going to be there, right? Should I avoid her questions about kids again? I rolled my eyes. Just do what I do with Judith. Smile, nod, and change the subject. My grandmother had been crossing boundaries since I was a kid. Last Christmas, she announced my cousin's divorce at dinner before he'd told anyone. Classic Judith. Emma's baby shower was in full swing when we arrived. Pastel decorations everywhere, mountains of gifts, and my very pregnant sister holding court in a flower-adorned chair. Finally, my favorite sister is here! Emma waved, her other hand resting on her enormous belly. I'm your only sister, genius. I leaned down for an awkward hug. You look different. Emma squinted at me. Did you change your hair? Before I could answer, Judith swooped in, pulling me into a suffocating hug that smelled like cigarettes and floral perfume. There's my beautiful granddaughter. I was beginning to think you weren't coming. I extracted myself from her grip. Wouldn't miss it, Judith. The shower progressed normally. We played ridiculous games involving baby food and diapers filled with melted chocolate. Emma opened gifts while Mom wrote down who gave what. Everything was fine until dessert. Judith clinked her glass with a spoon. Everyone, I have an announcement. My stomach dropped. No one should be making announcements at someone else's baby shower. Since we're all gathered to celebrate Emma's baby, I thought it would be wonderful to share that we're going to have 2 great-grandchildren this year. Camille is pregnant too. The room went silent. All eyes turned to me. Ryan's face drained of color. Is it true? Emma whispered, her eyes filling with tears. I couldn't lie, not with everyone staring. Yes, but how could you? Emma pushed herself up from her chair. This was my day, Camille, mine. I didn't tell anyone. I was waiting until after your shower. I looked at Judith. How did you even know? Judith smiled smugly. A grandmother knows these things. You've been avoiding wine and sushi. Plus, you have that glow. You had no right, I hissed. Mom tried to salvage the situation. This is wonderful news. 2 babies in the family. But the damage was done. Emma was crying in the bathroom, guests were whispering, and I was standing there, my private joy twisted into a public spectacle, watching as my sister's special day crumbled because my grandmother couldn't keep her mouth shut. I followed Emma to the bathroom, knocking gently on the door while guests pretended not to stare. Go away. It's me. Please, Em. I swear I didn't tell her. The door cracked open. Emma's mascara had created dark rivers down her cheeks. How could you let this happen? Let it happen? I just found out myself 3 days ago. I was waiting to tell anyone until after your shower. Emma dabbed at her eyes with a tissue. Well, congratulations. Now everyone's talking about you instead of me. Again. Again? What's that supposed to mean? Nothing. Just go back to the party. When we returned, Ryan was cornered by my Aunt Patricia, who was grilling him about baby names. I rescued him while Mom tried salvaging what remained of the shower. The ride home was tense. Ryan kept glancing at me like I might explode. I'm going to confront her, I finally said. Camille, is that really necessary? It's done. Judith is... well, she's old. Being old doesn't give you a free pass to ruin people's lives. Did you see Emma's face? Ryan sighed. I just don't want this turning into a whole family war. You know how these things go? The next morning, I drove to Judith's house, ignoring Ryan's pleas to let it cool down. My grandmother's tidy suburban home looked deceptively normal. like the woman inside wasn't a manipulative nightmare. She answered the door in a floral housecoat. "Camille? What a lovely surprise. Come in, I'll make tea." I followed her to the kitchen, my anger building with each step. "I wanted to talk about yesterday. Wasn't it wonderful? Everyone was so excited about your news." "No, it wasn't wonderful. You had no right to announce my pregnancy." Judith waved dismissively. "Don't be so dramatic. The family deserved to know." "It wasn't your news to share. Emma was devastated." "Emma has had 8 months of attention. She can share the spotlight for one day." My jaw dropped. Share the spotlight? This isn't a competition. "Look, I did you a favor. You were being selfish keeping it secret." "Selfish? I was respecting my sister's moment." Judith shrugged. "What's done is done. You'll thank me later." I left Judith's house shaking. No remorse, not even a hint of it. I called Mom immediately. "Your mother is unbelievable. I assume you went to confront her?" "She said I should thank her, like she did me a favor." Mom sighed deeply. "I should have warned you about confronting her directly. She's never going to admit she was wrong." "Has she always been like this?" "Remember your cousin Olivia's wedding? When Judith announced Uncle Paul was losing his job? I thought that was just a thoughtless slip." "No slip. She found his resume on his laptop and decided everyone needed to know. Or when she told the entire church about your father's hernia surgery, with graphic details." I sat down hard on my couch. Why does everyone just let her get away with it? It's easier? Your grandfather couldn't control her, and after he died? Well, we all just adapted. By adapted, you mean became enablers? Camille, no, Mom, this isn't right. Emma won't even return my calls now. Give her time. That night, I couldn't sleep. Ryan found me at 2 a.m., scrolling through old family photos. "What are you doing, babe?" "Looking for patterns. Judith has been pulling this crap for years. And I'm done letting her get away with it." The next morning, I called my cousin Olivia. If anyone would understand, it would be her. "So she's struck again, huh?" Olivia didn't sound surprised when I explained what happened. "You don't seem shocked." "Are you kidding? After what she did at my wedding? Judith lives for this stuff. It's like she gets high off controlling information." We met for coffee that afternoon. Olivia brought a notebook filled with dates and incidents. "I started documenting after the wedding disaster." She slid it across the table. "Your baby shower bomb is just the latest hit." I flipped through pages of Judith's greatest hits, announcing Olivia's pregnancy before her 12-week scan. She miscarried a week later, revealing Uncle Paul's job loss, exposing Aunt Meredith's facelift. This is comprehensive. Know your enemy. What's your plan? The family reunion is in 3 weeks. Everyone will be there. Next, I visited Uncle Paul, who welcomed me into his paint-splattered workshop. "Your grandmother has always been difficult. Even as a kid, she'd use secrets as currency." "What do you mean?" "She'd collect information, then release it when it benefited her most. She snoops, checks medicine cabinets, scrolls through phones, eavesdrops on conversations." That's how she knew I was pregnant. She must have looked through my purse at the shower. If you're planning something, count me in. Over the next week, I gathered allies. Aunt Meredith brought medical records showing her facelift was actually reconstructive surgery. Cousin Tyler had emails where Judith leaked his college rejection. Even my normally passive dad admitted she'd revealed his therapy sessions. The family reunion is perfect, I told Ryan. Everyone will be there, including Judith's church friends, the audience she cares about most. Are you sure about this? Publicly humiliating your grandmother seems like exactly what she deserves. She spent decades embarrassing others. The plan was simple. A slideshow celebrating family milestones, secretly embedded with evidence of Judith's violations. Olivia would run tech, Uncle Paul would distract Judith, and I'd narrate. 3 days before the reunion, Mom called, her voice tense. "Judith came by today. She says you've been turning the family against her." "And you believe her?" "She's telling everyone you're unstable. that you blamed her for Emma not speaking to you. Classic deflection. Is Emma coming to the reunion? Yes, but she's sitting with Judith. The night before the reunion, our allies gathered at my house. Olivia tested the slideshow, Uncle Paul distributed speaking roles, and Aunt Meredith brought copies of evidence. Tomorrow, the reign of terror ends, I said, feeling both nervous and resolute. Judith won't know what hit her. The family reunion was in full swing at the community center when we arrived. Ryan squeezed my hand as we walked in. You sure about this? Never been more sure of anything. Judith held court near the buffet table, surrounded by her church friends. Emma sat nearby, her enormous belly making it hard to maneuver between chairs. When Judith spotted me, she waved as if nothing was wrong. There's my other pregnant granddaughter. Come give Grandma a kiss. I forced a smile. Later, Judith. I need to help set up the slideshow. Uncle Paul intercepted her when she tried to follow me. Sister, have you tried the potato salad? Recipes from your mother's cookbook. Behind the projector, Olivia gave me a thumbs up. Loaded and ready. You good? Let's do this. Mom looked nervous as I tapped the microphone. Attention, everyone. We've prepared a special presentation celebrating our family's milestones. The lights dimmed. I started narrating while images flashed on screen. Family means trust and respect. It means privacy and boundaries. The first slide showed Judith at my sister's baby shower. Last month, my grandmother announced my pregnancy before I had told anyone, including my husband. Gasps rippled through the room. Judith stood up. This is ridiculous. I was sharing happy news. Was it happy news when you announced Olivia's pregnancy before her first trimester, right before she miscarried? The slideshow continued, showing a timeline of Judith's violations. With each revelation, another family member stood up. Aunt Meredith raised her hand. She told everyone I had a facelift when I was actually having reconstructive surgery after my car accident. Uncle Paul stepped forward. She announced my job loss at a family dinner before I could tell my own children. One by one, cousins, aunts, uncles shared their stories. Judith's face grew redder with each testimony. This is a conspiracy. You're all turning against me because of her. She pointed at me, hands shaking. Cousin Tyler stood up next. She found my college rejection letter and told everyone at Christmas before I had processed it myself. Even my quiet dad spoke up. She revealed to my golf friends that I was seeing a therapist for anxiety. Judith looked around for supporters, but even her church friends were backing away. You're all so sensitive. I was just keeping everyone informed. That's when Emma struggled to her feet. The room went silent. You ruined my baby shower, Grandma. You stole my moment because you couldn't stand not being the center of attention. Judith's mouth opened and closed like a fish. Emma, darling, I thought you understood. I understand perfectly now. You don't care about any of us. You only care about control. Emma waddled over to me, took my hand. I'm sorry I blamed you, Camille. She played us against each other our whole lives. Judith tried approaching us, but Uncle Paul and Aunt Meredith stepped between us. This family meeting is over for you, Judith, Uncle Paul said firmly. We love you, but we're done enabling you. 3 months later, Emma's son Jacob was born. 2 months after that, I gave birth to my daughter Lily. At Lily's christening, the family gathered minus Judith. Any regrets? Ryan asked, as we watched Emma coo over our daughter. Not one. Judith made her choices. We made ours. Mom approached with a letter. She's still asking to be included. I handed it back unopened. Some boundaries can't be rebuilt once they're broken. The family we built without Judith's toxicity was stronger than ever. Our children would grow up in homes where privacy was respected and boundaries were sacred. That was worth more than any grandmother's approval. What would you have done in Camille's position? Was she right to publicly expose Judith at the family reunion? Or should family issues always be handled privately? Is cutting off toxic family members completely the only solution? Or is there room for second chances with strong boundaries? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We all have that one family member who crosses the line. How have you handled similar situations? If you enjoyed this revenge story, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about standing up to toxic people. New videos every day exploring the complicated dynamics of family relationships and how to protect your peace.